Good evening, everybody. I would like to call to order the May 24th, 2023 regular meeting of the Monee Village Board of Trustees, 6:34. If I could please invite Pastor Dave Short up for the invocation.
A couple words that just seem to really stick to me this week is just grit and grace. Grit, courage, and fortitude, and perseverance, but grace to do it, right? And gentleness and kindness. Father, we're all leaders, and at times, Father, we need grit. We need a determination, tenacity, Father, to work things through, to do things and accomplish the things that need to be done. And so, Father, I'm asking you to give us that kind of fortitude, that you would give us as leaders that kind of courage, that kind of stamina, Lord, to face the circumstances and the situations and the difficulties and face them with faith. And Lord, I ask for grace to rest upon this meeting, that we'd be gracious with our words, that we would be kind with our decisions, but yet the courage to press them through. And so, Lord, Father, I ask you, God, that you would bring your Spirit to rest on this meeting tonight. Your goodness, your gentleness, your power, and your strength. And Lord, we ask it all in your precious name. Amen.
Thank you. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Trustee Gonzalez.
Here.
Trustee Horn.
Here.
Trustee Henson.
Present.
Trustee Rakes.
Present.
Trustee Wilson.
Present.
Trustee Udress.
Present.
Thank you. Open to the public, agenda items only. Moving on to the consent agenda, may I please have a motion to accept?
I'll make that motion, Mayor.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Trustee Horn.
Yes.
Trustee Henson.
Yes.
Trustee Rakes.
Yes.
Trustee Wilson.
Yes.
Trustee Udress.
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez.
Yes. Thank you. I would like a motion, please, to open the public hearing.
Make that motion, Mayor.
Second. Oh.
Roll call, please.
Trustee Henson.
Yes.
Trustee Rakes.
Yes.
Trustee Wilson.
Yes.
Trustee Udress.
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez.
Yes.
Trustee Horn.
Yes.
Okay. Danny Burrell. Mr. Burrell, come on up. Thank you.
Thank you. Good evening, Mayor and members of the board. My name is Andy Perot. I represent Hillwood. I'm here tonight seeking approval for annexation of a 60-acre parcel that we have under contract located just north of Manhattan-Monee Road on Ridgeland Avenue. I passed out some information, so the slides should be in your packet on your desk. But a little bit about Hillwood. We're owned by the Perot family. Been in business since 1988. Slide gives you an example of where we've built around the country and overseas into Europe, including England, Germany, and Poland. Some of the clients that we represent, one of them in particular you'll see is Home Depot, which located in our Bailey Ridge 4 building that we leased up to them and then since sold. So our site that we're talking about tonight is located just north of that building. The building that we're proposing is with this annexation would be a 860,000 square foot building located again along Ridgeland Avenue, very similar in size to the Bailey Ridge 4 building that was recently leased. And with that is just a prototypical landscape plan for the site itself. So with that, if anybody has any questions, I'd be happy to answer.
At this time, is it a spec building, or do you have potential clients lined up for it?
Yeah, we're marketing it at present, looking for a build-to-suit, but we would proceed on a spec basis if we didn't have anybody signed up.
Okay.
This, for the board's reference, this is the Batterman parcel, correct?
That's correct, yes.
Okay,
yes.
thank you.
Any other questions? Mr. Bell?
Are we looking at a timeline here, or we have a time constraint to get this annexation and things?
Yeah, we're due to close in October.
In October?
With veterans, yes, we'd like to have that, prior to closing. And then, depending on how things shake out, we'd like to even start this fall or at latest next spring with construction.
Thank you.
Are you looking, yes, sir. Are you looking to build for single occupancy or multiple?
Ideally, single. Again, we had great luck with Home Depot on the Bailey Ridge 4 building. We feel that the market would support a single tenant here, but our building's designed to accommodate 2 tenants, so we'd have a potential office location at the north end and the south end, so we could divide to 2 tenants if needed.
And you're saying now the market, it looks like it could support another 860,000 square foot?
Yeah, given what's under construction, what's available right now, we feel we're in the right spot. If we can get this under construction to, be the candidate right now, as other projects are put on pause, and due to availability, we feel that this is the right time to get this started.
And this will affect traffic on Ridgeland?
I'm not sure.
Not much?
No, I don't believe so. And if I may, just for the board's clarification, this is the project where we were looking for TIF funding, but it didn't qualify for TIF. So it'll be taxed appropriately. The school, to their credit, came up to the plate and helped them out. But it didn't qualify for TIF, so there's no TIF payouts from the village.
Correct.
Plans for road work for that area too, to widen that?
I know Jeff's working on it, and it's very preliminary.
Okay.
Our plans would include widening Ridgeland, the length of our property, similar to what happened southwest on the Bailey Ridge 4 building.
Gotcha. Thank you.
How long, once you've started, will it take to complete?
Anywhere from 9 to 12 months.
Thank you.
You mentioned expanding the road work up to your property, the Ridgeland. However, that property, if I'm correct with that, it's almost equidistant between Monee, Manhattan, and the next exit, which is that Stunkel? Stunkel. Would you consider expanding the road work north to Stunkel?
We haven't considered it at this point. Most of our traffic would go down Ridgeland to Manhattan, Monee to 57. We did a preliminary traffic study. There might be some car traffic that would go that route, but most of the truck traffic would follow going south.
Well, now, why do you say that? Because I think if I was a driver, I would go north too.
Weight limits.
The north exit, because.
Depending on the direction you need to go, yeah.
Well, sure, but that exit is much less congested than Monee, Manhattan.
Hey Doug, the truck weight limit, you have to come up from the south and go in. You can't get up a Stunkel and go down that road because of the weight limits. No, that should get changed.
The weight limit on Ridgeland?
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm exactly talking about.
Right.
Would you consider doing expansion of that road going north?
We haven't at this time.
Well, I'll go on record saying that I think that needs to be looked at as a part of the project.
Any other questions? Public have anything? Anybody, any questions, comments?
I just have a quick question. Is this going to be another facility?
Can you come up to the mic, please? I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Thank you.
I just wanted to, I just wanted to know, is this going to be like a facility that is going to be accessed by the public as well, or is this another industrial site?
It is an industrial site similar to the buildings in the surrounding area. It'd be a warehouse distribution facility.
Anybody else? Okay, thank you very much, appreciate it.
Thank you.
May I please have a motion to close the public hearing?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Trustee Rakes?
Yes.
Trustee Wilson?
Yes.
Trustee Udris?
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
Trustee Horn?
Yes.
Trustee Henson?
Yes.
Okay, moving on to the clerk's report.
Thank you, Mayor Bogues. Just a couple things. One, I just wanted to let everyone know that our Creek Monee High School band competed in Great America this weekend, and they brought home 6 first-place trophies. That's where my voice disappeared at. Also, for the residents, I'll make sure I post in the community pages also, but Nicor Gas is giving home energy savings program. They also have a virtual or in-person visit from building to professional and to investigate the energy savings opportunities in the customer's home. So of course, things like, free products, the LEDs, water saving shower heads, those things are free. However, they have free deeper home improvements like attic and wall insulation, sometimes even equipment upgrades from the AC boiler, furnace, heater, things like that for qualifying customers. So any additional information for that, you please call 855-660-9378. Also, there's the Energy Assistance Program for anyone needing additional assistance for their payments, of course. I'll also make sure that I post that information online as well. End of report.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome.
A few things under my report this evening. First, we'll start with, in 2022, Monee Manhattan Road was utilized by more than 1 million vehicles, led by the expanding commercial zone, a booming business environment, and increased interstate traffic. Our current license plate reader system hit on 487 vehicles last year, resulting in arrests for stolen vehicles, felonies from other jurisdictions, wanted subjects, and the recovery of missing endangered persons. It also provided officers with very important information related to 2 different open homicide cases. Furthermore, this system gives our officers access to 2,535 license plate reading systems, most of them from the Metro Chicago area. This access has been instrumental to our investigators working on numerous felony investigations. We have taken a proactive approach to law enforcement and want to provide our officers and our community with the resources necessary to keep all of us safe. By adding to our LPR coverage, we are making it more difficult for criminal offenders to travel our streets unabated. We would like to thank State's Attorney Glasgow for his contribution and support for this very important law enforcement initiative. And he is here this evening, and we welcome you, State's Attorney Glasgow.
Thank you very much, Mayor
Very
Boggs.
welcome.
These license plate readers have been a real blessing for Will County. As you know, in Cook County last year, I believe they had 1,800 carjackings. And as far as the actual carjackings that occurred in Will County, it'd be under 10. And the reason for that is we are very aggressive in policing those types of crimes. And when it comes to violent crime, we're dealing with a situation now, obviously, where there's a push to reform bail reform. And I'm not against bail reform. we should have bail reform. There shouldn't be someone sitting on minor crimes, and they're not sitting here in Will County. We make sure that someone charged with a lesser crime does not sit in jail for any length of time, and many times not at all. But when it comes to violent crime, we see what's happening to the north of us, and it's totally unacceptable. Violent criminals should be in a situation where they can't continue to harm us during the pendency of their case. And so I think if you compare Will County with Cook County, you'll see the difference. But these license plate readers, as you had just mentioned, there's a network that it's tied into. So if a stolen car is picked up by one of these license plate readers, everyone is informed. And unfortunately, most of the carjackings occur when people, they steal a car and then they go and look to steal other cars by way of carjacking. So again, this technology has been amazing for Will County and to help keep us safe. I just recently had a case where the state police picked up a carjacking in the city of Chicago. It happened on Diversity Parkway, and the individual made the mistake of fleeing into Will County. So we made the arrest there. He sat in the Will County jail for 1 year during the waiting trial. He was convicted and sentenced to 22 years. And then he was transferred back to Cook County because he had an aggravated criminal sexual assault case that had to be disposed of also. He had a lengthy criminal record back to 2009. And when he was first arrested, he's telling the officers, "I'll be out by Sunday. I'll be out by Sunday." Well, no, you're in Will County, not Cook County. And so he wasn't able to do any further havoc during the pendency of his case. There is the presumption of innocence, and that's a sacred principle in our government. And I have a history of dismissing cases that I'm prosecuting if we reach a point where we realize we can't prove it beyond a reasonable doubt. We don't prosecute people when they haven't committed the crime. And so that's as much a duty as it is to prosecute. 2 major murder cases that I dismissed, I've been very blessed. After I dismissed those cases, 6 years later, we actually caught the real killer. And that's the kind of indication you don't normally get. But it also reaffirms my duty to dismiss a case when I'm not ethically able to prove it anymore. So we also have tint meters, Chief. I don't know if you're using those at all, but they've been very valuable in the city of Joliet. There are laws as to how tinted your windows can be. And unfortunately, the individuals who are pushing drugs or having guns in their car most of the time have tinted windows so you can't see inside. And that can be the basis of probable cause for a stop. And then we've got these meters that you can put on the window and get a scientific reading of what the light transmission is, and that's very solid evidence in court to justify the stop. And, so again, it's just preventive policing, and it's very effective. And we also purchased canines for 13 different municipalities, and we're just now reaching out and getting feedback on some of that. And people say, "Oh, what do we need a dog for?" It's not just for arrests. There's all other types of situations where the dogs come in and are a real asset. And certainly from a PR standpoint, when you have your canine out at all the summer events, the people start to identify with the canine. And I've not met too many people that don't like dogs. I've got 4 myself, and I've got 5 children, only 1 left at the house, and so there's got another set of kids coming along. Yeah. But the one thing about dogs, I just want to mention this. I've started the League of Extraordinary Canines and Friends with an eye towards making Will County the safest place in Illinois for animals. Now, I may say, what are you wasting your time with animals? No. When we're kind to animals, we're compassionate to animals, we're nicer to each other. It's human nature. And Dahmer and Gacy tortured animals before they went on their murder sprees. And in 1999, a cat was set on fire in Joliet, Illinois. It was a Class B misdemeanor. And I wrote a law called the Animal Torture Law, and it went on the books back in 1999. It's a Class 4 felony to torture an animal in Illinois, and now it's Class 3. And that law requires a mandatory psychiatric evaluation of the offender so that the judge can determine whether or not further psychiatric care is needed or medication, because anyone who tortures a defenseless animal, there's something misfiring upstairs. And that doesn't mean we just condemn that person forever. We try to help them, we try to intervene, but we don't ignore it. And that's worked out incredibly well. So again, thank you so much for having us here tonight. I've got a fake check for $5,000 that we want to present to you. So
one more time. I'll get my knee right there.
Smile. Oh, that is a smile.
There we go. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
Great job, guys.
what I've been trying to do across the county is get private businesses to partner with us, because anytime we can draw the local citizens in to work with us, we're all benefiting. And so there are times like tonight where I'm willing to get it started without that, but it's something that it's just common sense. The more we involve the community and you think about it, if you have a safe community, does the business make more money? It's common sense. And so we all need to work together, and this is we have there's such a focus right now on the offenders. And again, like I said, I've been doing this since 1982, and I've never ever failed to dismiss a case when I felt that we could improve it. And good prosecutors do that. But we have a right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness in our daily lives and with our families. And that's something that we need to fight for. So like I said, I have a case I'm waiting for a decision from the Illinois Supreme Court right now, the no bail bill that went through. And let me just explain. When I was fighting that, people were lying about what I was saying. I've got 40 years of experience, and you got somebody who's not even a lawyer telling you that I don't know what I'm talking about. That's silly, okay? So the one provision in that law that I can tell you that's absolute is it put in a 90-day maximum that you could hold somebody. So if you killed 50 people and you were locked up in 90 days, if I couldn't get you to trial, it said you shall not be denied pretrial release, and that would be for the rest of your case. Now that's not that. You've got a very violent offender, say a psychotic offender. You don't want that person back out on the street. And so, again, we're very conscious of what's an appropriate bail. We don't set bails just to set money bails. All the factors are taken into account. And so the Climo case that's pending in Lake County right now, that person who's obviously disturbed, who shot up the parade and killed all those people and wounded all those people, they haven't even come close to setting a trial date. He would have been out in 90 days. That's the fact. That can't be. And so that's why I was so passionate in opposing this. I'll be more than happy. I'm praying to God we win. And after we do, I want to sit down. You want to do bail reform? Let's do it intelligently. Let's do it safely. And we can all do it by working together. The state of New Jersey, if you get a chance, Google the New Jersey bail system. They did it. They have 90 days. The prosecutor has 90 days for indictment, plus another 45, 180 days for trial, plus another 60. Here I had 90 for trial. That's an impossibility. So thank you for listening, and hopefully these cameras will help keep you safe. Take care.
A big thank you to State's Attorney Glasgow for that. I'm going to segue a little bit here before I get to item number 2 and jump over to Trustee Gonzalez, who's got some well-deserving scholarship winners from the Monee Women's Club.
Thank you, Mayor. And I'd like to invite Monee Women's Club, our officers, up front to do some presentations of these 2 very deserving ladies. Ladies and gentlemen, we're the 3 of the 5 officers of the Monee Women's Club, a very active volunteer group in Monee. I'm Heidi, and our Vice President, Michelle Williams, and Claire is our treasurer. Claire L. is our treasurer. So we had the opportunity this year, sorry, you know how I am, to do scholarships for 2 very deserving ladies that live in zip code 60449. And we are very proud this year that we got the most applications ever for our 2 local scholarships of $1,000 each to help these ladies go to school for their higher education. And I excused myself from the voting because I knew 2 of the ladies. So I'm going to have these, both Michelle and Claire, to tell you a little bit about these young ladies. From the,
I don't remember, I don't have the notes on me.
Okay,
I didn't
all right.
bring, sorry, I just came from Indianapolis, and I didn't bring any of my notes with me.
the essays.
Pardon me?
The essays. I don't have those notes with me, so I'm sorry.
Okay, well, I'm just
You're
going to
gonna
do
talk.
this.
I didn't bring
So-
them with me, I'm sorry.
You remember?
No, I don't remember.
Okay.
I just remember being very moved by your essays.
Yes.
And felt like you ladies were very deserving and you worked really hard. So you've worked for this. We can't remember everything because we read quite a few of them, but we just remember you 2 really moved us with your essays.
And that being said, these essays and part of the Monee Women's Club mission and everything and these scholarships is not necessarily based on GPA. These are our scholarships on based of a deserving young lady who has tried their best, overcome some incredible obstacles, and still wants to go better themselves at higher education. So first,
Christina Simpson. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
congratulations. Oh, my girl. And don't go anywhere, don't go anywhere.
And Kennedy Jones.
Congratulations. And we're going to do a picture, okay? And I'll send it to you, Hattie. Okay.
Thank you.
We don't have like giant fake checks to give you, but the checks will go directly to your schools, okay?
Thank you, Heidi, very much. And congratulations, ladies. Yes. Okay, moving on to my next item, department head appointments. I would like a motion, please, to accept the following department head appointments for the following year. Ruben Bautista, Village Administrator; Daryl Bulliner, Finance Director; Michelle Powell-Johnson, Front Office Supervisor; Scott Kerner, Police Chief; Tony Lazzaroni, Deputy Police Chief; Ed Johnson, DPW Superintendent; Romulus Barris, Building Services Manager; Diana Kroll, Parks and Recreation Director; Randy Ulaskis, EMA Director; Bill Barnes, Economic Development Director; Jude Knabe, Human Resource Director; and John Jones, IT Director.
I'll make that motion as read, Madam.
Okay. Second.
Second.
And roll call, please.
Trustee Wilson.
Yes.
Trustee Utris.
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez.
Yes.
Trustee Horn.
Yes.
Trustee Henson.
Yes.
Trustee Rakis.
Yes.
Thank you, Board. Moving on to item number 3, discussion/approval re-enterprise zone map amendment. As you all recall, at the board meeting on October 26, 2022, the board approved entering into a professional services agreement with Antero Group to start the process of amending the enterprise zone map. Antero Group worked with the state and 5 other municipalities in our zone for their approval. At this time, I am requesting a motion to approve the enterprise zone map amendment. After approval, our attorney will be able to draft the ordinance for our next
Make that motion, Mayor.
Second.
meeting.
I believe it's already
No. Correct. Mhm. Okay, any discussion? Roll call, please.
Trustee Udris?
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez? Trustee Horn?
Yes.
Trustee Henson?
Yes.
Trustee Rakis?
Yes.
Trustee Wilson?
Yes.
Thank you, Board. Item number 4 under my report, discussion/approval regarding the waste contract proposals, Republic Services and Homewood Disposal Service. As the board and public have been aware, we are ending our 10-year contract with Republic Services for the village's waste management. We have recently received 2 bid proposals for a new contract. Republic Services and Homewood Disposal have submitted their contract proposals. The board and staff have closely reviewed both proposals, and there have been many discussions over the past few weeks concerning these offers and their competitive pricing. A few items should be mentioned before I make my recommendation regarding the bid award. Homewood Disposal proposed a 7-year contract commencing July 1st through June 30th, 2030. Year 1 starting monthly cost $27.48 per home, a 4% annual increase. Yard waste collection April 1 through November 30th. E-waste $35 charge, maximum of 2 quart e-waste items per year, and then 2 village-wide pickup days each year. Republic Services proposed a 10-year contract, can renegotiate contract for competitive pricing at the 5-year mark. Year 1 starting monthly cost $22.14 per home, 3.5% annual increase. Yard waste collection through spring and fall. E-waste monthly cost $1.25 added charge, 1 item per home per month. The village must elect to choose the service village-wide, otherwise the service is not offered. Fridays will remain to be pickup day, and side-load garbage trucks will be utilized in the rural subdivisions. Based upon the competitive proposed pricing and potential cost savings to our residents, as well as their proven track record, it's our recommendation that Republic Services be awarded the new waste disposal contract. It should also be noted that Republic Services has been serving our community with exceptional waste disposal services since 2013. Over the years, they have demonstrated reliability, efficiency, and a commitment to environmental sustainability. They have been responsive to the village's needs and have received positive feedback from residents for their professional conduct. So right now, I am requesting a motion to approve Republic Services for the new waste disposal contract, which would commence July 1st, 2023, and run through June 30th, 2033.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Discussion.
And just for both services, I appreciate them coming out and making the presentations that they did. For me, I will say the old saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, because I've been very happy with the services in town. I've heard the same thing from lots of residents, and in that they're, very grateful for the service that's provided and the courteousness of even the drivers helping people, with getting stuff to the curb when they couldn't. So see no reason to change it.
Roll call, please.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
Trustee Horn?
Yes.
Trustee Henson?
Yes.
Trustee Rakis?
Yes.
Trustee Wilson?
Yes.
Trustee Udris?
Yes.
Thank you, Board. That is everything under my report for this evening, so moving on to the Administrator's report.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, everyone. Congratulations to the recipients for the scholarship. Great news. First item is the Court Street Bridge deck patching, pay request number 1. The village has received pay request number 1 from Iroquois Paving Corporation for work completed on the above referenced project. The work invoice has been reviewed by staff and Robinson, and the work is in substantial compliance with the plans and specifications. Therefore, we respectfully recommend that Iroquois Paving Corporation is entitled to payment of $116,762.12 as summarized below. Total earned to date is $122,907.50, less 5% retention of $6,145.38 for a subtotal of $116,762.12, less a previous payment of $0. The amount due this pay request is $116,762.12. Board action requested is a motion to approve Iroquois Paving Corporation's pay request number 1 in the amount of $116,762.12.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Trustee Horn?
Yes.
Trustee Henson?
Yes.
Trustee Rakes?
Yes.
Trustee Wilson?
Yes.
Trustee Utris?
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
Thank you, Board. Next item, 25510 South Governors Highway demolition bids. The village has recently received demolition bids for village-owned property located at 25510 South Governors Highway, which is in the northeast corner of the town center. Below is a summary of the bids submitted. Number 1, Holland Asphalt Services, $44,000.00. Zigzag Excavation, $52,500.00. Milburn Demolition, $292,600.00. It should be noted that Holland Asphalt does not include ComEd or Nicor utility disconnects in their bid proposal. They have stated that this would be the responsibility of the village. Unlike Holland Asphalt, Zigzag Excavation does include the utility disconnects in their proposal, and they would coordinate and complete these efforts. These utility disconnections are an essential part of the demolition process and would typically incur additional costs for the village. Should the board decide to approve Zigzag Excavation, the village can avoid the burden of arranging and paying for the utility disconnects separately, resulting in potential cost savings and a more streamlined project. Therefore, we would respectfully request that Zigzag Excavation be awarded the bid contract to provide demolition services at 25510 South Governors Highway. Board action request is a motion to approve Zigzag Excavation for the demolition contract in the amount of $52,500.00.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Any discussion?
What is the cost that's associated with the disconnects of the utilities?
That cost would vary, and maybe Ed or Jeff, if you want to speak up to that, but I believe Zigzag's pricing in that was $3,500 is his estimation. But it would take, just for board understanding, we would be at the mercy of 2 different utility companies, the timing, the scheduling, and having to send our Public Works team over, waiting through that process of it being disconnected. And so timing is important if we're going to demo it, and having to wait or be delayed is an issue, as we have a development project that's in motion right now, and it's quickly moving, and so the time's of the essence.
Okay, thank you.
Roll call, please.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I'm just going to put it out here. The last one was so significantly higher than the other 2. Is there something in here that the other 2 didn't put in there that might be, going down to grade and slabs and footings and concrete walkways? The other 2, you're confident that, they're doing the same work?
Mr. Johnson, stand and be heard.
I'll answer that. Milburn specialty is demolishing water tanks. When it comes to residences or even commercial properties, it's just not their business. That's why they bid that one high. Basically, they didn't want the work. So, there you go.
Yeah.
But you're confident that these other 2 are doing exactly what we need them?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Roll call, please.
Trustee Henson?
Yes.
Trustee Rakes?
Yes.
Trustee Wilson?
Yes.
Trustee Udris?
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
Trustee Horn?
Yes.
Thank you, Board. End of report.
Thank you. Moving on to our officials' reports. Public Works, Trustee Horn.
Good evening, everyone. DPW has been preparing for Memorial Day. I hope you've noticed Landscaping has been touched up around our Veterans Memorial in front of the Village Hall. And if you notice, veterans banners have been put up, and flowers have even been planted, with more coming by the end of the week. Monee recently published its annual drinking water quality report for calendar year '22. It can be viewed through the village website, or it can be accessed directly at villagemonee.org/CCR 2022, or paper copies can be obtained by request at the Village Hall. Monee's next village-wide branch pickup is scheduled for Monday, June 5. And guess what? DPW is still looking for candidates to fill part-time and seasonal labor positions. Contact Village's Human Resource Department at hr@villageofmonee.org. So if you'd like to cut grass during the summer, that's available. The Court Street work is winding up. And then shortly thereafter, we should see restoration commence. End of report.
Thank you. Moving on to Parks and Recreation, Trustee Gonzalez.
Thank you, Mayor, once again. Our Parks and Rec report for this weekend is the community-wide garage sales. I'm sure everybody has noticed. There's a list of 54 homes participating, and on the village website and on our social media. Monday is Memorial Day. Please join the American Legion here at Village Hall at 10 a.m. For Memorial Day tribute for those who died while serving our country in the U.S. Armed Forces. Coffee and donuts are to follow, and also sponsored by our Legion number 1200. If you're thinking of hosting a party at Fireman's Park Building, we are booking up fast and now booked on all Saturdays through August. Movies in the Parks return, thanks to Animal Wellness of Monee for sponsoring all of our movies this summer again. The first movie is The Mitchells versus the Machines on Wednesday, June 14th at dusk in front of the Creamery. And there's also a seminar, Medicare versus Medicaid seminar, being hosted at Fireman's Park on June 10th from 10 a.m. to noon, and that is also free to enter. The next 150th celebration meeting is on June 14th at 5:30 here at Village Hall. And the Village of Monee will be celebrating Juneteenth on June 19th from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Monee's very own Eat the Bone will be open for business here at Village Hall, and there's going to be music, prayer, history, and more. And alongside of that, too, more scholarships. The Monee Chamber of Commerce awarded $5,000 in scholarships to the following deserving seniors this week: Jasmine Cruz, Ari Hoffman, and Alejandro Sandoval, all three from Crete Monee High School, and Mame Poku from IMSA, and Grace Rafferty, who goes to Marian Catholic, and congratulations to all of you as well. And Monee Alliance of Churches is hosting Kids Camp on June 26th through 30th at Second Place. And please go to the Second Place Church website for more information. End of report.
Thank you so much. Finance, Trustee Rakis.
Thank you, Mayor. The Finance Department has negotiated a new interest rate on all money market accounts. This will increase interest revenue for the village. The month of April had $788,541 in revenue and $564,541 in expense. There was a transfer from the general fund to Road and Bridge of $3.3 million to Road and Bridge to cover current projects. The transfer was a part of the fiscal year 2023 budget. The village's American Rescue Plan Act report has been filed. The department will be working on the upcoming reports in the following months: the TIF reportings, Treasurer's report, the General Accountability Transparency Act reporting, and that is the end of my report.
Thank you. Economic Development, Trustee Wilson.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. At this time, I would like to call upon Economic Director Bill Barnes. He's going to give us an update as to what he's been up to.
What have I been doing all this time? That's right. Where's Waldo? Where's Barnes? Let's see, as soon as this opens up. So, so I've been with the village for about a little over a year and a half, and there isn't a week that goes by, and spoiler alert, this is not to announce we're getting a grocery store, just, however, I will talk about kind of the things that go on behind the scenes and the work that I've been doing to, kind of make things happen and to make or help Monee grow. This, it's a little bit small. So this, of course, is the, from the comprehensive plan. It's not the colorful version, but it's more about the roads and things like that on the town center and how it will look once it starts happening. I can tell you that there are a couple of things that are in the process of working, but that's all I can say because it's not a signed deal and it's not a grocery store yet. So, and if, I think, and then Trustee Wilson said, okay, you talk to a lot of people and, people need to see what goes on behind the scenes. So, since, again, a year and a half I've been here, I started in October, so a month in, I started reaching out to various grocery stores, one being Bizios. I talked to the owner, Tony Bizios. He talked to his sons. They said anyway, they're not interested in growing the business. So he said, thank you. But, and this is, first of all, this is not a dig on any grocery store. It's just, based on the economy as well. The next one I reached out to was Aldi, had several conversations with them. And the first question they asked is, what's your other grocery store? Because it's not our business model to be the only grocery store in town. So, maybe once we get one grocery store, then they'll come. Jewel Osco, as Administrator Batista knows, several months of conversation with Jewel Osco, and then they got into the acquisition of Albertsons that put things on kind of hold as far as their growth goes. So that's not a done deal, but again, just to let you know who I've been talking to. Burcott's, of course, the closest one is Peatone, and then they said, take a look at the one in New Lenox, and I really like that. So I talked to the developer and then talked to the owners of Burcott's. They said, well, it's not our business model typically to build a new store, unlike the New Lenox store. What do you have that's already there? And I guess the good thing is we don't have buildings that they can resurrect. So them. Pete's Market, I've talked to the owner's daughter. She said thanks, but not at this time. Strachan Van Til, which are mostly, well, they are all in Indiana. They used to own the Eagle grocery stores. They purchased those, and after they closed the Eagle, they said, we're just going to concentrate in Indiana, so thank you. And then we've had some conversations with Amazon Fresh. They said, yeah, we have a great relationship with Monee. Actually, California and Illinois have the most Amazon Freshes out in the country. However, because of the cost of materials and that type of thing, right now new stores are on hold. So search continues, so stay tuned. So that's that part. The next thing, of course, as everybody knows, Thornton's. There's a great 2,400 square feet next to Thornton's that has a double window for drive-through. Great location, especially given with Hillwood and other growth. So the first person I reached out to, people, was Wendy's. They were doing some things with Thornton's. I actually know the owner of like 140 of them, and he said, I'm scaling back, believe it or not. So he said, I'll pass. The next one was Pop's Beefs. They were very interested. However, the rest of them you'll see, one of the things that's important to them is getting gaming license into the restaurant. However, Thornton's has applied for that and they're going through the state, so that kind of the rest of those. Hog Wild Barbecue, also interested, but again, they want gaming. Joey's Red Hots, I think Jude, our HR director, mentioned them. Same, gaming. However, I'm still looking because they said they're very interested in any opportunity that Monee has for the future. And then Wingstop. So again, as I think someone very famous said, never give up, never give up, never ever give up. So, so that's part of that. Again, that's kind of the behind the scenes. That's a very consolidated version of the past year and 3/4 of people that I've been contacting. And again, more to come. Just keep going. Any questions or recommendations? If, you know, drop me a line and you say, hey, get a hold of these guys. Yeah, Raising Cane's, Chick-fil-A, White Castle, right, all of those. Lots of them, but.
I know we've spoke a few times,
Yeah,
Bill.
yeah.
I just want to say thank you for working so hard and getting those companies involved.
Yeah, more to come. So thanks.
Thank you, Director. So, thank you for sparing us all those and telephone conversations and all those follow-up meetings, but he's been working hard. I can attest to his work ethic. He's constantly thinking, Monee, and how do we advance and how do we move forward, and potential or prospective clients or businesses to bring to the village. So that's a rare quality and trait, and it's a full-time job, because even when he's other places, he's still mentioning Monee and considering consideration for us and getting us those businesses or providing opportunities, networking, and making things happen behind the scenes. So there's a lot of work going on. The day-to-day, I could say that it's exhausting, but somebody's got to do it. So thank you. Thank you for all your hard work, and the fruits of your labor are going to pay off. Keep an eye on the Monee Manhattan Governor's Highway Corridor, as we anticipate great things coming up this year. So, as always, shop Monee when available. End of report, Mayor.
Thank you. Building Services, Trustee Henson.
Thank you, Mayor. The Building Services Department noticed an increase in the number of contractor licensing applications this year. And with that steady building permit application submittals for homes, upgrades, and improvements for roofs, fences, windows, sheds. Permit was issued for the construction of the 2 townhomes on the last remaining lot in Orchard Hills subdivision on Ford Court. Work started on 25858 Sunset for the 12,000 square foot facility with 8 units to mirror the structure on to the west. We're also still looking to hire a part-time code compliance officer as demand continues to grow, and we are entering our busiest season of the year, and you can get that information off of the Monee Village website. Keep a lookout for rental licenses that are were mailed out last Friday. That is the Building Services report, but on a personal note, I would like to personally thank EMA and all of the businesses in town and the volunteers that I had to help with Lead in Monee this weekend. EMA, a handful of folks stepped up, helped us out, did a professional job. As usual, the businesses stepped up in honoring our officers and everything. And then we had quite a few volunteers that just said, hey, you need some help? Yes, we do. And it went off without a hitch. It was a very, very nice day. The last 2 years were rainy and cold and windy. You couldn't have asked for a better day. And again, thank you for everybody that made this happen. End of report.
Thank you. Public Safety, Trustee Udris.
Thank you, Mayor. For EMA on May 13th, EMA assisted Monee Police and Fire with a 2-inch ruptured gas line. EMA responded with 6 units and provided traffic control in that affected area until NICOR was able to stop the leak. EMA was on the scene there for approximately 3.5 hours. As Trustee Henson just said, EMA also was out with the Monee Law Enforcement Appreciation Day. They provided 7 traffic units, did a great deal of traffic control for the parade, and had a great time, like everybody else did that made it out there. Also, very fortunate with the spring storms so far. They've all seemed to miss us and go around us. But as I've talked about before, please make sure that you have multiple weather apps on your phone. Don't rely on the sirens. The sirens are made for outside. They're not made to be heard in your house. And I say multiple because some will respond faster than others for different types of storms. So make sure that you're well informed and well prepared on what to do in case storms come through. So again, any questions, you could ask anybody from EMA, any one of us, we'd be more than happy to help you out with that. And EMA got their message board today that arrived. And they will be getting that lettered and begin training on being able to use that. And I've been assured that it will be very visual and very visible as we need it throughout. So congratulations, Randy, for getting that done. For Monee Police Department, last Friday was Monee Cop on a rooftop over at Dunkin' Donuts for Special Olympics. It was a huge success. Donations totaled $5,500. So this was the biggest Cop on Top event yet. So a huge thank you to everybody that came out and donated. And lastly, again, thank you to Lead and Monee for the appreciation parade and the picnic last Saturday. It was a beautiful day at the reservoir. Great food, great friendship, great gifts galore. And all of the first responders and all their support had a great time. Special thanks to Trustee Henson and Tracy for all the hard work that you put in. And, can't tell you how much it meant to everybody. Thank you. End of report.
Thank you. Moving on to the attorney's report, Larry.
Thank you, Mayor. The first item under my agenda is we received a request relative to 5356 Court Street. That property is under contract by Miss Damas and Mr. Consello. The lender is asking that in the event that property is destroyed or damaged by fire, the buyers will be allowed to rebuild on that site. We've done this on several occasions for other individuals, and are they in the audience today in case there's any questions from the board? But this is a lender's requirement because of how it's zoned. Pardon me?
How the zoning is?
I think it's commercial.
Commercial.
I believe it's commercial.
Yeah, commercial.
Hi, sorry I got here too late to register with the clerk. I'm Janet Beyer from Remax Destiny, and this is the proposed owner, Jesse Consolo. The problem is it's zone C1. The current owners just bought the place 2 years ago and used an FHA loan. Our problem came up with the C1 because we're doing a IDA, down payment assistance loan. Fairway Mortgage made an exception, and they would allow it, but IDA won't. C1 means for a residential home that if something happens to the home, a flood, a fire, a tree falls on it, if more than 50% of the home is destroyed, you can't rebuild it as residential. The problem with that is we won't be able to get homeowners insurance. Therefore, we can't get the mortgage. They were supposed to be out of their current home last week. It was sold, so they have to get out. We've been waiting for this board meeting because if you don't approve it, they can't buy the house, and we've got to hurry up and find some place to live in the next week. So that's where we're at. It's the C1 zoning, and it's with the IDA down payment assistance program. So we need a rebuild letter saying that you'll approve it so that we can get our mortgage and move next week. Thank you.
If that's okay with everyone.
Yeah. Do you have any questions? It is not being purchased as a rental property. They do plan on living it. Jesse and his wife Nellie, they have 2 little boys, and they're looking forward to making Monee their home.
I'll make that motion.
A second.
Any discussion?
Yeah, so is this a zoning issue?
Yeah. Indirectly.
Indirectly, yes.
Because the lender has a requirement that because it's not zone residential, they will make it go to commercial. And what they're asking for is permission that if it was damaged, the buyers have the ability to build a home on there. And we've done it for property on Court Street and on Main Street for the last 3 or 4 years.
Most of that area over there is commercial, is C1.
Correct.
Well, yeah, on that side of the street, whatever side this is, where you guys are, that's a house, there's houses on both sides, there's houses, it's right across the street from the heating and air conditioning supply company. So it is all residential over there. The house has been residential since 1930 when it was built. So it's an old home, and like I said, the current owners have been there for 2 years. They did an FHA loan, but FHA didn't question the zoning. IDA is.
Okay, so is IDA requiring a zoning change?
No, they're requiring a rebuild letter from the village saying that if something happens to this house, although it's zone C1, the village would allow it to remain as a residential property.
Thank you.
Roll call, please.
Trustee Rakes?
Yes.
Trustee Wilson?
Yes.
Trustee Udris?
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
Trustee Horn?
Yes.
Trustee Henson?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you and welcome. Thank you.
Welcome to Monee.
Welcome.
Thank you, Mayor. The next item is an ordinance amendment relative to the Monee Town Center. Zoning Board had a hearing last board meeting. It was approved or recommended to zone it to C1. This is the property that we bought from the Franciscan Sisters years ago, but we have to rezone it to C1.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Trustee Wilson?
Yes.
Trustee Udris?
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
Trustee Horn?
Yes.
Trustee Henson?
Yes.
Trustee Rakes?
Yes.
2030.
Thank you, Mayor. The next item, once again, the zoning board held a meeting last week relative to a zoning map amendment. This is for T-Mobile, 26177 South County Fair Drive. I believe the gentleman is here tonight in case the board has any questions. It was recommended for approval. It appears as though all you're doing is putting up further equipment on that site. And here he comes to answer any questions, right?
Yes, that's correct. Adding 6 antennas and 6 associated radios with those antennas.
What's the total amount of antennas on there now?
There's no antennas currently up there right now.
Okay.
And these are all then T-Mobile antennas or leases from you?
Yes, correct. It's only T-Mobile, no other carrier.
So we need a motion, right?
Yeah, we have a motion, please.
I'll make that motion.
Second. Okay, question.
continue
This
with your
is, we had a bunch of antennas on top of the old Monee water tower, so this is in essence, maybe not the same companies and everything, but in essence replacing that also.
Relocating.
Yeah.
The Tower 1 that we
It's a common practice.
Yes, it's
Can I have roll call, please?
Trustee Udris?
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
Trustee Horn?
Yes.
Trustee Henson?
yes.
Trustee Rakes?
Yes.
Trustee Wilson?
Yes.
2031.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. The next item is an ordinance to approve the annexing of property on Ridgeland Avenue north of Monee Manhattan Road. HIP V1 LLC is Hillwood. The gentleman's here tonight. They are asking to annex into the village. The zoning board make a recommendation to approve the annexation. Notice has been sent out to the appropriate individuals, and the owners of the property, Mr. Batterman and Mrs. Bode, I believe it is, have asked as applicants to have this property annexed into the village.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
So everybody's in agreement on that side of everything, that they want it annexed. Everybody wants even the owners and everything, so it's up to us to decide to annex or not. So
Yes, sir.
everybody except for us are on agreement at this point.
Yes, sir. There's no electors, no residents, and there is a contingency, which I'll get into at the next number 5, but everyone's agreed to it so
Okay.
far.
And on top of that, that we would also be extending our borders of Monee as Monee, which is also a plus.
Roll call, please.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
Trustee Horn?
Yes.
Trustee Henson?
Yes.
Trustee Rakes?
Yes.
Trustee Wilson?
Yes.
Trustee Udris?
Yes.
2032.
Thank you, Mayor. The next item, and before the mayor is authorized to sign it, I will indicate an annexation agreement. I know the gentleman said they like to possibly start construction end of this year, which is what they want to do. But they do have a contingency in there, that if for whatever reason the economy or they can't build, and this is Mr. Batterman's request, by the way, that if they don't close by July 1st of 2024, the annexation's off. What he's concerned about is that if it reverts to some type of zoning and he can't farm out there, which makes sense, you know, so we talked to Mr. Carlson, who's Mr. Batterman's attorney. We did agree, and so did Andy Perrell, that in the event they don't close by July 1st, the annexation will not take place. And what I've agreed to do with Mr. Carlson, I will hold that in the file, because I don't want to record it, because then it's of record, and that's probably the easiest, but just let the board know, they want to close, but like anybody else, they're a little concerned of, economics.
And you said July of 24, you mean 23?
No, 24.
No. That's what.
Okay. So on that note, we would need a motion authorizing Mayor Boggs to execute the annexation agreement by and between the Village of Monee and HIP V1 LLC and others.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Any other discussion with this? Roll call, please.
Trustee Horn?
Yes.
Trustee Henson?
Yes.
Trustee Rakes?
Yes.
Trustee Wilson?
Yes.
Trustee Udris?
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
2033.
Thank you.
That's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you very much. Any unfinished business?
No, it's in the annexation.
Oh, okay.
New business?
Yeah, for new business, actually, I do have one thing I'd like to bring up. A reminder that August 4th is going to be the Monee Police Department Special Olympics golf outing. That'll take place at Green Garden Country Club, starting at 9 in the morning. Wanted to see if there was interest from the board in sponsoring a hole for that tournament, and get that on the agenda. Maybe next board meeting, we can have a discussion about that. I'm not sure, if anybody has any ideas. I'm not familiar with how that works in sponsoring a hole, but I think it would be appropriate and a good thing for us to do as a village.
All right, perfect. And I do have one item. I encourage all of our residents to please give your feedback on the Eastern Will County Freight Mobility Study. This study was started as Will County seeks a truck route from Route 394 to I-57. This directly impacts our village of Monee. So when you go online to look at the suggested routes, you will see where they're trying to direct truck traffic. So I implore all our residents to please give your feedback on the alternatives suggested. I'm going to make sure that John's got the link to this study posted on our website by tomorrow so that people can go. The last study, the last input that they had out of, I know we've got 5,000 residents, but 259 people responded to the study. So please, I ask everybody to, make it a priority to get your opinion out there for Will County. And that's all I have.
When the next meeting is for that?
The study closes June 16th, so they don't give us a lot of time either.
We found out like the week before, last time before
Yeah,
it closed.
exactly.
Is there any more like open forums or anything for that anywhere, or a meeting in Joliet? I thought I saw there's a meeting in Joliet for it.
Not
no?
at this time yet.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Moving on to open to the public, non-agenda items.
Good evening, Mayor,
evening.
Administration, Trustees. My name is Graham Robertson. I am a homeowner in Gorman Farm subdivision. My wife is going to be passing out some information so you have at hand as I move through this tonight, what I'm trying to address. And I'd ask if you'd hold your questions, if you have any, due to time. Great tragedy took place on Tuesday, May 9th, and Wednesday, May 10th. The Village Public Works Department destroyed a most beautiful nature habitat, flourishing ecosystem identified on the first page. When you get it, you will see it. This approximately 5 acres out of total 10-acre parcel of public lands of natural red to purple tip grasses, wildflowers, small trees, maples, peach, locust, up to 8-inch in caliper, 14 inches tall. These trees were not cut down but mowed down. What is left standing looks like a tornado hit them. This piece of land was not an overgrown residential lot with weeds, but a home to wild birds, bees, butterflies, giant praying mantis, rabbits, and other creatures which built this thriving ecosystem. Now all it's gone. Even though the prior administration, under Mayor Pop and Village Administrator David Wallace, had by petition exempted these acres from being mowed. But as they say, history repeats itself. In June 2018, the village mowed this same area and killed the entire ecosystem. It took 3 years before it started to revive itself. This destruction, once again, was caused by one person contacting the Village Public Works Department, telling them they should mow their own lands before handing out citations for residential lots that have tall grass. I spoke then to the administrator, David Wallace, and Mayor Pop concerning what would need to be done to protect this land. They asked I provide them a signed petition. My neighbor and I, which are adjacent to the parcel, again, it's identified, you'll see myself, and it says the neighbor, that back up to this 5-acre parcel. I provided the information with pictures before and after, what it looked like, in addition to outlining how this natural prairie was providing benefits to the ecosystem. The administration agreed with our petition, and the 5 acres was not mowed until 5 years later on May 9th and May 10th, 2023. The same piece of property was even designated in the village plans as a nature walk. See your second page. A natural area, it was called. So how did we get here and allow this to take place again? The administration allowed a few individuals, without investigating the facts, to make claims due to coyotes and maybe that the village was not taking care of public lands. So I tried to stop this mowing by contacting the village administrator, the mayor, 2 trustees, in addition to the public works superintendent. All I received was crickets. It wasn't until the devastation was completed that I was contacted. Fear of coyotes was one of the complaints given to the Village Public Works Department for why the mowing of this prairie was required. Yesterday, May 23, I spoke with Brian with Will County Animal Control concerning coyotes in the village of Monee, which provides services to our area. My question to Brian, has the department had any complaints of coyotes being a nuisance in the village of Monee residential communities? This would include attacks against people or their pets. Brian's response, no. He said there's a 1,300 to 1 chance that you will get bit by a dog or cat than a coyote. Further, Brian went on to say that the coyote population has not increased in or around Will County area. Construction which destroys their natural habitat causes them to be more vocal in terms of loss of their natural hunting grounds. It is usually farmers' fields that attract coyotes because of the many mice, rodents, rabbits, and other animals that hide within the crops. Gorman Farm subdivision is surrounded by farms. Brian also provided this website, wildlifeillinois.org. To quote the website concerning coyotes under the section, "A coyote in my neighborhood or backyard." Coyotes are found throughout Illinois, quote, in rural, suburban, and highly urban areas. So if you see a coyote resting in or crossing a backyard, golf course, park, or field, that is normal coyote behavior. It is also common to see coyotes out during the day. As long as they are given their space, coyotes do not typically pose a threat to people or pets. It doesn't matter whether you live in rural, suburban, or urban area, you will have wildlife neighbors. Wildlife are a normal part of the landscape. Each species has a role to play in maintaining a healthy ecosystem. I'm asking the administration, trustees, that they not mow this 5 acres, or at least not until they have a decision on what is going to happen with this in the future. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, guys. I'm Rhonda. Sorry I'm not prepared tonight. I don't have any handouts. So well, I know I can't ask questions, but I'm going to ask questions. The construction on the Court Street Bridge, when you drive over it, there's like a big boom before you get to it. Is that going to be fixed, or is that like that forever?
Yes.
Yes, it's getting fixed?
It will be addressed.
Oh, okay. And then not that kind of speed bump. I said the smooth tabletop. Go back to your.
No,
I gave a presentation.
Platform, not bump, right? No bump, platform, speed platform.
Good one though, John. And the grocery store, Bill, is it possible to get a commissary? Is that an option for a village, like a village commissary?
Well, just to speak on that, UP tried a co-op and that failed.
Well, we not UP.
For the same reasons that the large big box grocery stores don't want to come here, would be the same reasons we wouldn't want to invest in that right now. Now, if it was a situation where it was pre-existing that we could take it over and save it, that would be a viable option. But right now, and it takes a lot of money. That's a whole nother department. Daryl would hate us and he wouldn't talk to us, so I don't know. But I think that investing in infrastructure and developing our town, we're getting there. We're getting the looks, we're getting the reps, we're getting the meetings, we're getting the conversations. I think we're right on that threshold that, especially once we start breaking ground in the comprehensive plan area, you're going to see a change. That's why I keep talking about this year is going to be a pivotal, monumental year for us. A lot of things are happening, a lot of good things are happening, and just be patient. It's hard. Grocery stores, you don't choose them, they choose you, as we know. We're finding out. But I honestly think we're there. Just pray.
And then last thing, I just want to throw this out there because I don't have anywhere to hold it at. But there are a lot of us residents that either can't make it to these meetings, or by the time we get here, you guys are already voting on things that we wanted to talk about, and we just have a lot of work going on, and we kind of really want to be heard because we elected you all to represent us. So we would like you all to be able to know what our thoughts and concerns are, so you can make educated votes while you're up here. Like, not to say you're not educated, but I mean, as far as how we feel educated on our feelings towards certain things you guys are voting on, especially so that things like what this gentleman just discussed doesn't happen, because now we know that this is important to someone, how would you feel if your backyard got mowed down? So, but things like that, would you all be open to a town hall forum where we could actually speak to the mayor and the trustees and have an open conversation?
Yeah,
All right.
absolutely.
Now
I mean,
give
the-
Diana some money so we can have somewhere to hold it. No, so, yeah, but if we could do that, I think that would really open up the table. There's a lot of things happening in Monee, a lot of things moving and grooving, and sometimes it's like we get here and it's like, oh my goodness, I didn't know that was happening. I might have wanted to say something about it. And then lastly, toddler parks. Thank you.
Hey, Rhonda, also, don't forget, all our contact information is on the website.
Yeah, but
Always reach out to us anytime.
just me, though,
No, I get that, I'm just saying that so everybody knows, you can always reach out to any one of us and be more than happy, meet for coffee, you know. When we have a good coffee place coming up pretty soon, it would be a great meeting place for that, you know. But yeah, anytime.
I'll get a date for and a place.
And I think that it's great that you came up here and said this. So, thank you.
I'd like to ask permission just to share a couple updates on some of the efforts, community efforts that Provision Lab is a part of. And one of them, well, I guess permission, is that okay? One is our community garden network. And I just, this year, we have 14 raised beds at St. Paul's, and we have 9 raised beds at Second Place Church. Last year, we saw almost 1,000 pounds cultivated of produce that went to our pantry from the St. Paul's community garden. And so we're just encouraging people, if that's some interest that they have in that, just to let me know. And we have a lot of work to be done on that. And also, I just want to affirm the Monee Fire Department. You know, they come out and we have water tanks out there to be able to do this community garden, and they are so good at coming out and filling those tanks for us. And it's a community effort. So that's, yeah. So both gardens are currently in full swing. So we also have a legal aid program that we started several months ago. Andy Franklin couldn't be here tonight. Her husband's out of town. It's called the Southland Justice Center. And currently we do one Saturday a month, just a couple hours that we put together for clients to come in and get some help. We have one lawyer at the moment who has met with 20 clients over the past few months. And out of 20 appointments, 2 clients were homeless at the time of their appointments. And we were able to help them get on the right track. Of the clients that have filled out the post-visit survey, all of them have rated 10 out of 10, and they'd recommend us to others. When asked, what would you like others to know about administered justice, one client responded that they should give it a try. It is an experience that could be life-changing. You consider the whole person. No paid law firm will do that. That was a powerful, powerful testimony. Many appointments have been helping single mothers, abused mothers with custody questions, separation and protection questions, child support questions, etc. We've also had several will and trust appointments, helping the elderly. We've even served a teen mom who was trying to figure out many adult questions, seeking legal advice as an 18-year-old mother of a 2-year-old. And that was really special. We've served teenagers all the way to 75 years old plus. It's really been quite the scope of clientele. We're reaching a diverse population, both in age and ethnicities. There are 22 AJ centers in the Chicagoland area and only 1 in the Will County, and that's us. And not only, I think we've been successful in many ways, just being just kind of a baby in this process. But Administered Justice came and recorded our team and our director and used the video as a promotional tool. And so it's right here in Monee. It's a beautiful thing. And so lastly, I just wanted to speak about our collaboration with the Crete Monee School District. It's really been a highlight, our work with the school district. And Superintendent Kara Coglianese said, "We have been pleased with the partnership that Provision Lab has provided our students." In the past year, we've given out almost 80 bicycles to needy children, and we have provided brand-new coats and shoes to children that have been told to us are just in really desperate need. And so we're a part of that. And so working together, we can find answers and we can create solutions and make Monee just an amazing place to not only live, but for people to come and find help and hope. And we appreciate all the support that the village gives us and the community gives us, and together we can, right? Together we can. And Kelly, I just wants to give a little bit of an update on Provision Lab as well.
Good evening. I just wanted to give an update on the food pantry. So our numbers are increasing pretty regularly. So we are still meeting right now on the first and third Tuesdays from 3 to 4:30 or until food is gone. And typically by 3:35, we've gone through 100 bags. So we pack 100 bags right now, and they're gone by then. So we will continue to increase as we see the need. And we're really excited now that all the gardens are planted to give out all the produce. Last pantry, we did give out cilantro plants, so they were ready to be planted in everyone's garden, and everyone were really excited to be able to grow their own gardens. I also want to highlight on Love Monee. This is going to be our 6th year, and we are moving the date. So it's typically in August, the hottest month. We decided to move to October. We are hoping that it will bring more volunteers, and we're having a fun run on September 29th. So I encourage everyone to come out. Superhero. So come dressed up, bring your families. We're really looking forward to getting Governor State. They will be organizing the run for us. It'll be great to get families out there. And then the big event will be October 7th. We're looking for haircuts again and food, lots of other things in the works. We have the MAC churches coming together to help us plan this amazing event. So we're really excited about that. So, thank you.
Thank you.
I'm just here to prolong this meeting. Wow. I think it's worth mentioning. I had a couple of things to say, but thank you, Heidi, for mentioning the kids camp that's coming up. Over the past 8 months, we've been networking local leaders at something called Leader Connect. It's been on the first Friday of the month, breakfast, and it's been amazing. We've reached over and I guess collected over 70 leaders over the past 8 months, not all at the same time, but they've come through. And our hope has been, and by the way, I'm here I'm second place, but I'm here on behalf of the Monee Alliance of Churches because the group of guys and the group of churches really believe that we can work together. And I will tell you, in a prior life, I did a lot of work with churches and ministries in towns across the nation, big, small. This doesn't happen when most of the pastors in the community, they don't know each other. It's a competition. And so we really believe that we can be a part of the conversation and we can maybe help lead part of that conversation as well. And so Leader Connect came out of that. And our capstone event is coming up in August 3-4, which is the Global Leadership Summit. And it is a world-class global event that is simulcasted. And we are a host site here in Monee. And I think it's important that leaders look at Monee and say, I want to go there and actually level up my leadership and do some of the things that we're talking about doing, some things we heard tonight. It makes so much sense. Rhonda needs to be there. And so do those students that got the awards tonight. I'd love to scholarship them. We'll find out who they are and their names and get communication out to them. But we really believe that good things are happening and it's no mistake. And we should seize the opportunity while we have it because it's pretty awesome to be a part of it. So thank you.
I want to just add more. I'm just kidding.
I do want to say one.
Thanks for Juneteenth. We're excited.
Okay. All right, next up, executive session, 5 ILCS 120/2C5, the purchase or lease of real property for the use of the public body, including meetings held for the purpose of discussing whether a particular parcel should be acquired. May I please have a motion to move to executive session?
Make that motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Trustee Gonzalez? Trustee Gonzalez? Trustee Horn?
Yes.
Trustee Henson?
Yes.
Trustee Rakis?
Yes.
Trustee Wilson?
Yes.
Trustee Udris?
Yes.
Thank you.
8:04 PM.
All right, may I please have a motion to reopen regular session?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Trustee Rakis?
Yes.
Trustee Wilson?
Yes.
Trustee Udris?
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
Trustee Horn?
Yes.
Trustee Henson?
Yes.
Thank you. All right, there is no action to be taken after executive session, so if I can please have a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Trustee Wilson?
Yes.
Trustee Udris?
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
Trustee Horn? Trustee Henson?
Yes.
Trustee Rakis?
Yes.
8:53 PM.